Purging describes any behavior that attempts to rid the body of calories after eating, the most common being self-induced vomiting. Other forms of purging include abusing laxatives, over-exercising, taking diet pills, misusing diuretics and fasting for extended periods of time. Some people use only one means of getting rid of food while others use a combination of methods. Step 1. Show some forgiveness to yourself. In fact, one large study found that frequent dieters were 12 times more likely to report episodes of binge eating. Right now, it's time to stop blaming yourself. So take a moment to realize, it is not your fault that you are in this situation. The reason you are purging now is because in the past you went on a strict diet. The diet led to a binge which led to a purge. If you never dieted, you would never have binged and you would not have purged. It's really that simple. If you are looking to blame someone, blame our society's obsession with dangerous restrictive diets. You are not weak, sick or broken. You have simply become trapped in an uncomfortable situation due to the misguided belief that restrictive diets are helpful. Step 2. Understand how purging affects your weight. Does vomiting food really help you lose weight? The truth is that, ultimately, it doesn't. On the contrary, it can lead to weight gain in the long run. The theory that throwing up helps you undo the binging is just another myth that we desperately need to raise awareness of. When you first start vomiting after eating, you might experience some initial weight loss. However, this is usually due to dehydration and is thus impossible to sustain. Since water is a large part of your natural body weight, some water loss is sure to show up on the scale. This weight loss is only temporary, since your body will return to its normal state as soon as you rehydrate. Here are 4 more reasons why purging is not an effective weight loss tool. 1. After purging, your body still absorbs the majority of the calories. 2. Purging encourages your body to hold onto fat. 3. Purging leads to massive sugar and binge cravings. 4. It changes the way you think about eating. Step 3. Be aware of the dangers of self-induced vomiting. Let's briefly touch on some of the dangers associated with vomiting after eating food. According to the National Alliance on Mental Illness, your heart is not built to withstand laxative use or daily vomiting. This type of stress may cause arrhythmia, heart palpitations, heart attacks, or ultimately death. Purging can and does kill. Other dangerous side effects of purging include Step 4. Get ready to stop self-induced vomiting. Now that you're familiar with the effects and potential dangers of purging, it's time to take action and start fighting back. So, let's take a moment to get prepared. 1. Firstly, let's choose a date. Choose an exact date and time in the not-too-distant future, perhaps within the next couple of days or so. This is the day when you're going to stop purging. Your chosen date should be as free of potential stressor as possible. 2. Next, let's decide what you are going to eat. You must also decide what you're going to eat beforehand. To begin with, stick to foods that feel safe. Keeping a few slices of cake down might be too big of a challenge at first. It's best to start with foods that you know to be safe and less triggering. Let your body get used to the feeling of being nourished again. Even more importantly, allow your mind to make peace with the fact that you do not need to purge food. If you are used to purging every little bit of food that you happen to ingest, start out by keeping down a small snack. The key here is to take little steps forward and leave more challenging tasks for later. Step 5. Make the mental decision to remove the option to purge. When your chosen date has arrived and you feel ready to give this a try, do your best to let go of the option of purging. Be clear with yourself. No matter what happens, you will no longer make yourself sick. Make that decision. Draw a line in the sand and refuse to cross it. The chances are that you only continue purging simply because you can see no way out of the habit. Make that commitment. No matter how hard it gets, no matter how strong the urges are, no matter how much effort you have to put into resisting their constant pull, you will not purge. I can assure you that, As more and more purge-free days go by and the option slips further away from your mind, you will find yourself becoming a much more peaceful, confident and a carefree person. Step 6. Expect to feel uncomfortable. The very act of not purging is easy. You simply refuse to do it and stick to your decision. However, this is not where the problem lies. The real problem is the fear and anxiety that can be induced by letting go of a familiar coping mechanism. You might feel like your mind is going at 1,000 miles per hour. This food is going to turn to fat. You will blow up like a balloon if you don't purge now. You're losing control and it's disgusting. These thoughts are bound to come. They are to be expected. And, as surprising as it may seem, it is absolutely okay to have them. You're facing your biggest fears. You're only human. Of course you'll get anxious. The initial anxiety is, in fact, an important part of the recovery process. It's scary to be scared, but it also means that you're on the right path and there's happiness waiting for you at the end of it. Remember that there's no real need to panic. These thoughts have no basis in reality. They are fears, not facts. Your body is very much capable of handling the food. The food in your stomach is not fat. It will not make you gain weight. Accept and expect that you will feel scared, anxious and uncomfortable. It's okay to be afraid. You don't have to like these feelings. All you have to do is accept that they're there and you can't do much about it. They will pass by themselves. They can't harm you. Step 7. Engage in your safe activity immediately after eating. What really helped me stop purging was replacing the habit with something else. I had to find a new activity to engage in after eating. Stick to your new routine until it becomes a habit. This usually takes around 30 days. Once you get used to it, you'll begin to associate the end of a meal with your safe activity rather than the act of purging. You may not be able to follow the exact same routine every time you eat. That's completely understandable. Just try and stick to it when you can. It's very likely to have a huge impact on the success of your recovery. Step 8. Hold out for 10 minutes at a time. If you find yourself struggling to avoid purging, just try and delay it for the next 10 minutes. Research suggests that even a 10-minute wait can drastically reduce the brain's response to a craving. By delaying the act of purging for as little as 10 minutes, you're giving yourself an opportunity to ride the urge out. If the 10 minutes are up and the urge to purge is still there, don't give up. See if you can go another 10 minutes. You might even need to repeat it the third time. However long it takes, try and stay with it. I've found that, as time goes by, these increments become shorter and might even disappear completely. All you have to do is be patient with yourself. It takes time for old wounds to heal. Step 9. Use this simple technique for healthy stress relief. I am going to give you a really powerful and simple technique to reduce stress. This can be a lifeline for you in those moments when you feel really stressed out. Please give it a try when you are feeling stressed. You will notice its effects kick in instantly. Muscle release technique. 1. Take a very deep breath and hold it in. 2. While you're doing that, tense every muscle in your body for 5 seconds. Contract your toes, thighs, calves, buttocks, stomach, chest, arms and hands. Just squeeze as tight as you can. 3. Release every muscle as you slowly exhale. 4. Rest for 10 seconds and then repeat the exercise 3 to 5 times. This should take you less than 2 minutes.